We have owned the Honker Cafe for 48 years, but the foundation for it began many years earlier in a small town of 2000 back in Michigan where Ron's mother owned and operated LeBaron's Diner. Ron is one of 6 children who each worked there, often begrudgingly, but it gave him excellent groundwork for owning his own business, even though he vowed he would never be in the restaurant business. Ron and I dated during high school in that little town of Reed City, Michigan. After dates, he would head back to the diner to complete all his side work. One of his tasks was peeling a 50-pound bag of potatoes every night. 50 pounds. One potato at a time before his mom started her 2 a.m. shift the next morning. Mom LeBaron required her 4 boys to join the U.S. Army after high school. So after Ron's 2-year hitch, he began working for the Howard Johnson's restaurant chain until starting his career as a cost accountant for General Motors. In 1973, one of my sisters and her family, who had moved to Nampa a couple years earlier, coaxed, coerced, and finally convinced Ron and I to move west as well. In March 1973, we officially became Idahoans. I had taken a job at Glen Reed Insurance Agency and became acquainted with a customer who owned the Country Inn restaurant. Remember how Ron never wanted to be in the restaurant industry? The Country Inn needed a manager, and when the owner found out about Ron's background, he was hired immediately. Once again, after lengthy, demanding hours in the restaurant business, it did not take long for Ron to decide that if he was going to have to stay in restaurant work, he wanted to own his own business. As time allowed, he began checking out area restaurants. The day he walked into the Honker Cafe, then owner Helen Hines was sitting out front. He walked up to her and asked her if she was interested in selling. She was not, but soon decided if she had a buyer, it was a good time to sell. Therefore, with a bank loan for $5,000, LeBaron's Honker Cafe was born in June 1974. At the time, our L-shaped restaurant seating capacity was only 35, but we were blessed with a booming little business. Before long, the town barber next door needed to retire and gave us the first opportunity to buy his 140-square-foot property. We expanded into that area, gaining only about 14 more seats, but they helped greatly. This was the first of several remodels and renovations. Ron did nearly all the cooking and prep while I waited tables part-time. We actually did open a small deli around the corner where the Italian to-go is right now to help with overflow customers, but soon realized that owning and operating 2 businesses was more than what our busy family with 4 children could enjoy. When a prospective buyer came along, we sold. Each of our children spent time working in the restaurant. Even now, it isn't unusual for customers to see one of our 4 kids or 13 grandchildren enjoying a meal, bussing tables, or wrapping silverware. On January 31, 2022, Ron and I signed the paperwork transferring the restaurant ownership to our youngest son, Ryan. And so, the LeBaron restaurant legacy continues.